Good morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. In less than a minute, the House of Representatives on Monday ratified the bicameral conference committee report on the 2026 General Appropriations Bill. The Senate on Monday ratified the bicameral conference committee report on the 6.793 trillion peso 2026 national budget, just hours after the House gave its approval. The Ombudsman warned the public not to treat the circulating copies as conclusive evidence, while Avista insisted he had already provided investigators with complete records over a month ago. The Ombudsman will conduct a digital forensic examination of former DPWH Undersecretary Marina Catalina Cabral's computer hard drive to verify alleged files on budget insertions for flood control projects. South Korea's former First Lady was alleged by prosecutors on Monday to have accepted lavish bribes totaling over $200,000. Allegations of corruption in flood control projects and global trade tensions weighed on Philippine economic growth in 2025. Lenny Robredo reveals that her daughter Aika's wedding dress is made from Jessie's barongs. Robisco Club's Creamline and Chocomucho have released several longtime players as they begin revamping their rosters ahead of the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference. Today is the 30th of December 2025, Tuesday, and I'm Eliana Lacap bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. The northeast monsoon, or Amihan, affects northern and central Luzon today, bringing partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rains. Extreme northern Luzon will have moderate to strong winds and rough seas, while the rest of Luzon will see light to moderate winds and slight to moderate coastal waters. Easterlies will bring cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms over Visayas, Mindanao, Mimaropa, and Bicol region, with possible flash floods or landslides during severe storms. The rest of the country will experience light to moderate winds and slight to moderate seas. Residents are advised to stay alert and follow local advisories. Now for our traffic update. Light traffic is reported at Balintawak Toll Plaza, approaching Mindanao Toll Plaza, Bocaue Toll Plaza, and San Fernando northbound and southbound lanes. All other areas of NLEX, SATEX, and NLEX connector, including toll plazas and interchanges, are also experiencing light traffic conditions. Motorists are advised to stay alert and follow traffic advisories for a safe and smooth trip. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. The House of Representatives ratified the 2026 General Appropriations Bill in under a minute, sending it to Malacanang for President Marcos Jr.'s signature, with the Senate also approving the budget on Congress's last session day before its holiday break. Marcos is expected to sign the GAB in early January, while the government briefly operates under a reenacted budget. The Department of Public Works and Highways saw its allocation cut to around 570 billion pesos amid the flood control scandal, with funds redirected to PhilHealth, education, agriculture, and social aid. The 243 billion peso on-program appropriations remain raising concerns over potential misuse. Now, the Senate ratified the 6.793 trillion peso 2026 national budget on Monday, following the House's approval, paving the way for President Marcos Jr. to sign it into law and prevent the reenacted 2025 budget. Key allocations include 1.35 trillion pesos for education, 446 billion pesos for health, with a 15% PhilHealth boost, and 529.6 billion pesos for DPWH after flood control cuts. On programs, appropriations stay at 243.4 billion pesos, with safeguards against overpricing and political epal. Senators mostly supported the measure, but flagged discretionary programs, farm to market roads, and oversight concerns, with the enrolled bill expected in Malacanang early January. Now the Cabral files controversy has escalated as the Ombudsman warned the public not to treat circulating copies as conclusive evidence, while Representative Leandro Levistes said he had shown investigators the full records last month, mostly on flood control projects linked to another lawmaker. Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano stressed that only partial documents were presented and that soft copies can be altered. After former DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral's death, her files and computer were secured and will undergo a digital forensic examination with COA, DPWH, and PNP anti-cybercrime oversight. Alleged budget insertions are not automatically criminal unless tied to fraud misuse. Now, speaking on that the Ombudsman will conduct a digital forensic examination of former DPWH Undersecretary Marina Catalina Cabral's computer to verify files allegedly detailing flood control budget insertions. Cabral's CPU was handed over to the DPWH on December 23, is now secured and will be examined with COA, DPWH, and the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group. Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano stressed the files alone do not prove criminal liability. Representative Leandro Leviste, who had shared partial documents with investigators in November, suggested all officials and entities holding copies, including DPWH, the Ombudsman, and Senator Panfilo Lacson, to compare them publicly to ensure consistency. Now, South Korea's former First Lady Kim Kon-hee is accused of taking over $200,000 in bribes, including luxury handbags, jewelry, and fine art, while meddling in state affairs and parliamentary elections. Arrested in August, Kim is also under investigation for alleged stock manipulation and receiving gifts from the Unification Church. Prosecutors say her actions, quote, severely undermined national institutions, citing bribes worth 377.25 million won, or $263,000. Reported luxury items include Chanel and Dior bags, a Graf necklace, a Leo fan painting, and a wristwatch. Former President Yoon Suk-yeol denied knowledge of the transactions, a claim questioned by authorities. Now in 2025, the Philippines economy struggled due to corruption in the flood control projects, global trade tensions, political noise, and natural disasters, highlighting the need for stronger governance and transparency. Economists said anti-corruption reforms are vital to restoring investor confidence, as flood control scandals may have cost over 118 billion pesos annually, limiting potential growth to 6%, while digital payment initiatives and macroeconomic measures helped ease the slowdown. Budget delays, weak reform implementation, and politicized aid hindered progress. The 6.793 trillion peso 2026 budget is slated for approval in early January. Now, Leni Robredo's daughter Aika recently tied the knot, honoring her late father Jesse in a heartfelt way. In a Facebook post, the former vice president shared a photo of Aika and her husband Jim, revealing that her wedding gown was crafted from Jesse Robredo's old barongs, keeping his memory close on this milestone. Aika is the eldest of Leni's three daughters with the former Interior Secretary, who passed away in 2012. Her sisters Trisha and Jillian were also mentioned, with Trisha recently getting engaged. Now, Rabisco clubs Creamline and Chocomucho have parted ways with several longtime players to refresh their lineups ahead of the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference. Creamline said goodbye to veterans Risa Mandapat and Pau Soriano, pioneers since 2017, who helped the team win 10 championships but had recently become reserves, making room for younger talent after a disappointing 2025. Chocomucho also overhauled its roster, letting go of Royce Tobino, Cherry Nunag, Aduque Ogunsanya, and Bia General in a similar move to strengthen their lineup. Now a quick look at today's horoscope. Today calls for pause and self-care, Capricorn. You've been on a roll, but it's time to step away from the accelerator and give yourself a breather. In your personal and professional life, allow warmth, love, and healing to enter by creating space for them. Explore new pathways thoughtfully and embrace essential lifestyle changes with care. Standing your ground has served you well, but slowing you down now will help you rise stronger and be more balanced. Opportunities for renewal, clarity, and progress are strong today. Thoughtful reflection will guide you towards lasting success. Now, did you know that on this day, December 30th, 1896, Dr. Jose Protasio Rizal, hailed as the greatest man of the Malayan race, was executed by firing squad at Bagumbayan, now Rizal Park in Manila? Accused of rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy against the Spanish rule, Rizal faced death with a calm saying, and I quote, "I am innocent of the crime of rebellion. I am going to die with a tranquil conscience." Born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna, he was a physician, painter, novelist, poet, philosopher, and more, recognized as the Philippine national hero in 1901, December 30th, became Rizal Day in 1902. Now this morning's viral story uploaded by Ja, which has now 9.6 million views, shows their family doing a TikTok trend with a leftover head of lechon. Let's watch this.
Bakit sino pa bang gagawa nito na may galit sa akin?
Tingin mo gagawa ko para sirain yung mga pinaghirapan ko?
Malay ko ba? Baka dahil sa galit mo, style mo lang magkunwaring okay ka, pero pagkatapos ng lahat, ipagbabasag mo lahat.
Hindi galit akong galit. Pero wala akong rason para sirain yung mga pinaghirapan ko. Dahil gusto...
Bakit sino pa bang gagawa nito na may...
That's all for now, mga katribu. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q. Happy New Year, mga katribu!